Hi everybody, it's Nancy here, back with another process video for you. And this is my first layout, which is going to go in my 2014 album. As you'll know from my previous video, I have now finished my 2012 scrapbook bar some of the journaling. So I decided to go with a nice sort of bright layout, and what I like to do is if I'm starting an album, I like to use some like current papers. So I've just pulled out my my Scraptastic kit from January, and in here is some of the print shop papers. So that is, I can't think of the actual title of it, but it's kind of like the script, which is kind of like really fashionable at the moment. There's a real, is a real trend within scrapbooking. I must say it's not my favourite trend, but I wanted to use it just, to kind of mark this year. So I've just matted my photo on some of the vellum and the cardstock that came with that kit. And here I am using my Dilutions, I think that's Funky Fuchsia, and then I'm going to use the turquoise one as well. And I'm actually spraying those on to create more of a misted effect, and just adding some splatters as well. I apologise if you can hear any kind of background noise. I have actually got my windows open today because it's actually a nice sunny day here in the UK. It's actually feeling a little bit like spring. So I've actually opened my window up to get some air into the room. So I apologise if you can hear any noise. My dad is actually outside sawing, just trying to fix a hole in the roof, so if that's what you can hear. I have the 6x6 print shop papers as well, so I'm just using these to layer up, and I'm just cutting that by hand because I'm not too fussed about that. I've pulled out my heart brayer here, and I'm just using the neon ink, which is from Hero Arts, and that coordinates really well with the dilution sprays as well. And then I'm taking out that shadow ink as well. And again, I do have to remember when using that heart brayer that you have to roll it the right way, otherwise you get hearts upside down. But from a distance it kind of looks like polka dot anyway. So I'm just trying to find a doily to go on the page, because of course I'm wanting to use kind of things that are on trend, and say gold is very on trend at the moment, so I want to use gold as well. And again, I'm not going to worry about this too much, but because this is like one of the first layouts that's going to be in my 2014 album, I just wanted to make sure, make it quite current. Again, I mean, yeah, that's just what I decided to do. I'm now taking out the +1 mini kit from Becky Higgins. I haven't brought any of the papers, but I thought that using these Project Life cards would be a good way to get some of the collection in. As I've said previously, it's not actually one of my favourite collections. I normally love everything Amy Tangerine does, but I don't know, I'm struggling because a lot of it's kind of like the script. I normally love the camera she does, but I'm not a big fan of that kind of like scripted sort of camera. I don't know, I'm not a fan. And say people who know me would know that's kind of quite unusual, because I love all the Amy Tangerine stuff. I've got even both of her handbags that she designed, so yeah, I was a bit disappointed really, but I feel that it goes quite well with her first collection with all the bright colours, and I do have a few bits of that left. So I'm sure I will get it, but I'll get it when it's being reduced and it's in the sale. And I know I've got a few bits coming in the kit from Scraptastic for March. So here I have just gone through my die cuts, and these are Polka Dot Party Dear Lizzie ones, and again it's kind of quite the bright colours. And here I am just using my fingertip knife, which is new. I'm trying to get the hang of that, and I can't find my cutting that here, so I'm just using the back of powder paper, which is probably not the best idea. So I'm just cutting the middle out of those because I want to use them just for the frames. And then with the heart project life card, I'm just going to cut the heart out but leave a small pink border around that. So I'm just trying to work out where I'm going to put that. I'm not decided if I'm going to back those frames yet. I will do later in the layout. So here I am just looking through my bits and pieces and decided, as I've gone with that gold frame, I am just going to put some of the gold Hardy Swap mist on, and it's such a lovely gold. I do love that, and again it's something that's been kind of quite on trend. I know it's been on trend for quite a, that mist's been around for quite a while. I think it was last Christmas, I think it might even been Christmas of 2012 that it was quite fashionable. So here I am deciding that I'm going to try using some of my new embossing powder. I'm not great at embossing. I don't have any embossing ink, so here I am just using a Stampin' Up ink, and I'm trying it with this one that looks like a camera dial on some black, but it really didn't cover too well. I think it was too fine a image for this kind of quite chunky embossing powder. So yeah, I'm not happy with that at all. So here I'm just pulling out a much simpler design, which is some gold glasses. I love this stamp. It's actually from a collection, and I've actually cut it apart. I can't for the life of me remember who the stamp set is, but I actually cut it apart from another stamp. But I do have other glasses stamps as well, and I'm a fan of glasses. I think I have about 12 different pairs. I buy them really cheap on the internet, so I like them to match with my outfits. So I thought, that again kind of sums me up, and as this layout is about my first selfie of 2014. I always laugh with people because I'm really vain. As you probably guessed from the amount of scrapbooking pages I do about myself, that bothers some people a lot. I don't really care. It's just me. So I wanted to include those glasses because, again, my glasses are something that quite a few people associate with me as well. So here I am just sticking the base layers down. Now I've kind of worked out roughly where everything is going to go. Did manage to get embossing powder and gold mist everywhere. In putting these frames down, I decide I don't really like the background showing through because it's not sort of just one layer. So I'm just going to look through some papers here to decide what I'm going to back it with. I then find in this Teresa Collins pad, it's a cut apart sheet, and I'm going to use that because, again, it's black. So I'm going to use that to just back that frame, and it is with a saying. I'm sorry I can't remember what the saying is, but I will put some close-up photos at the end so you can see that. And then I just use plain black to do that top frame. So here I am just cutting out those glasses. I was just originally going to use one, but I decided to use two. So I'm just cutting those out, and I'm using those dreaded Tim Holtz scissors. Thank you for the people who suggested holding them up the other way. That does make a difference, but they're still not my favourite scissors for doing fussy cutting. So I've lost my other scissors. I have about 6 pairs of scissors on my desk, but I've lost all of them. So I'm having to resort to using those. So I'm just backing those frames with the black paper and then adding my layers on here. Again, just overlapping those with the photo as well. And this layout did take just took me nearly an hour and a quarter, but then again I did spend about 15 minutes doing the embossing. To be fair, I'm not really sure it was worth the effort, but I don't know, I like it, I'm going to try it. I think what I need to actually do is get some proper embossing ink. I've never had proper embossing ink, it's something I always mean to get but don't, and I buy so much other stuff, you think I'd actually buy something that's useful. But anyway, so that is something that I will look at getting at some point, because I like the embossed effect. So I'm going to experiment and play a bit more with that. I'm deciding that I need something up in that top area, but I don't feel that a cluster of paper is really going to work. So I'm going to I'm going to bear that in mind, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there yet. Just added some more gold mist over the top. I pull out one of these polka dot party cameras. Again, I will slowly use that whole piece of paper as an embellishment. So I pull that out and decide I'm going to add that on. I'm just going through my box that I have in front of me, pulling out different things that I could possibly use. So pulling out some embellishments, some different silhouette die cuts, and that's something I'm determined to use more of in my 2014 album. I'm determined to use my silhouette more. So that's again another thing that I want to make sure I'm doing. Again, like I was talking about how I batch journal, I think I'm going to have to start batch cutting again. I used to do it before, but I won't just pull it out in this layout, especially at my parents' where I am at the moment. I don't have the space to have it out, so it's just tucked under my desk. I think when I'm back in my caravan that I probably will use it more, because it's actually out on the side. So here I am, just taking one of these freckled fawn embellishments. I'm just using that Hero Arts neon ink just to colour up that wood veneer, and I'm just drying that with a heat gun, but the ink still isn't 100% dry and I end up with pink all over my fingers. I'm looking here at some of the die cuts I've got, but I decided they're not really going to show up. And that embellishment is just me and a heart, because I love me. Again, that really bothers people as well. I don't know, people get kind of a bit weirded out if you actually like yourself, and you're okay with that. I don't know, especially people where I work do, but hey ho. So again, I'm just adding more and more onto this layout, just layering up this camera here. Just trying to decide what else to cluster up. I'm pulling out some of the embellishments that came from that January Scraptastic kit, looking at some of the flair and some of these frames. I really love that frame that says Fabulous, but it's far too small to work with my photo, so I do I think I'm just texting my boyfriend there. I do use these Tim Holtz scissors and just cut that actually out from the frame, so I just cut the word Fabulous out. And so I'm just going to move that camera down so I can fit that above there, and I end up taking the 3D adhesive off because I don't want it to stick up. Now I'm going to put that wood veneer over. So I'm just going to colour that in the same way, and annoyingly, as I pull it off the ink pad, it breaks, but I don't know, it's not a major thing because I could just stick it back together when I put it on my page. But I have fun trying it and chasing it around the desk, which is quite humorous. So yeah, I try those up and then use my glue to stick that down, and to be fair, you can't really notice it once it's stuck back together. I pull out, again, these are from Scraptastic January kits. I'm not sure who they're by, but they're like little glitzy hearts on toothpicks. So I'm just cutting those down, and again that's why I really like these Tim Holtz scissors, because you can cut the wood with them really easily. But yeah, they're not my favourite for cutting other stuff. So I pulled one of them off the stick and stuck that on the camera, and then the other two again I'm just cutting down and sticking behind those two frames. And I really like how that looks, and it adds a different texture as well. So now I'm trying to work out what font I'm going to use. I know that I wanted to include the date, 2014, so I pull out those gold thickers for that. As I said, the title is going to be First Selfie of 2014, and I wanted to use a hashtag for the word selfie. Again, it just makes it current. So I have to try and find. I was going to use those black font, but they don't actually have a hashtag with them. So I'm having to go through and find ones that have a hashtag. I do end up going with that print shop ones that actually came in this collection. Again, I was looking at using that smaller one, but again it didn't have a hashtag. So I'm happy that I get to use these, because I do really love this font, and it's nice and bold as well. And I'm just trying to work out what other font I'm going to use. And again, it's not the same pink, bright pink. It's more of a duller pink, but I really like how it looks, and I decided just to go back and use the gold for the first. I couldn't do Selfie in the gold because I didn't have any E's left, so. But I'm just going to fuss with the placement of that, just to get it looking right. And again, I'm really happy with that, because it makes a nice tight cluster. I did think about putting some of these enamel dots on, but they are the wrong colour gold. They're more of a bronzy gold. And what I do find, I've had these on my desk, I'm just going to pull them out now, well, once I've gone through this bag. They are not a scrapbooking supply. I've had them for probably about... These here, these are sort of like sticky sequins, and used to buy them on a roll, and early 2000s I used to wear them on my face and stick them above my eyebrows, stuff like that, like you do. But I found them up the other day, and I thought they'd make actually a really good kind of embellishment, as sequins are really in at the moment, and they're just self-adhesive sort of foil stickers there. So I add some of the pink ones to each of the clusters here. I'm really happy with how they look, actually. I think it adds something, and I've got them in pink, gold and purple, and I decide that gold is just enough to bring some interest up to that top corner without a full-on cluster, because I wanted to leave enough of that script paper so you could see it, and I just add some to the bottom. So that is the layout finished. I will put some close-ups coming up, and I hope you like it. I hope these are going to be a bit more regular photos, more newer ones, so they'll be more interesting to watch my Christmas layouts. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye!